All right, crafts. So I'm going to go over the next assignment before I dip into your sketches. The next assignment, when I go over your sketches, I'm going to go over three of them. Okay, I'm going to point out the three I feel are most successful, and I'm probably going to make suggestions on how I feel they can be even better. Okay, some may have done a great job with the sketches, and I may not have that many suggestions. So just go with the three I feel are most successful. Okay. What you're doing this week is you're choosing one of the three. Okay, just one of them, and you are completing the design made up of an object of your choice. Okay. Let me dip into here real quick to see what we got. Ashley, I'm not sure why you have three. Seems like it's very lazy to not add two more. A little disappointed about that. We have CDs, pens, coffee filters. Coffee filters would be good. Those are nice and those are big though, so you probably would need a lot of space. Coffee cups, you'll need a lot of coffee cups. Spoons, you probably have a decent amount of spoons, and you can use plastic spoons. Socks, I'm sure you have a lot of socks. Nail polish. So nail polish would work if it's the bottle of nail polish. We don't want to use nail polish as paint, okay? Face masks is a great one if you have a whole bunch of face masks. Silverware, you can use a combination of silverware, right? You don't just have to use spoons. You can use spoons, forks, knives, whatever. Paint bottles, okay, you'll need a lot of those. Patrick, beach glass, that would probably be very beautiful. Rocks, I'm surprised you're the first one to say rocks. Paper, crumpled up paper or ripped pieces of paper could work too. Shells would be very cool. Magnolia leaves, that's a good one. Emma, you have a lot. Candy's always fun. Pasta's always cool. I actually did a project myself, an experimental typography project in college where I painted cooked pasta blue. So you could, if you wanted to play off that idea, paint your pasta if you have paint. Seashells, all things you could find down at the beach. Take a nice little trip to the beach on Saturday or Sunday. Collect some rocks, shells, and stones, and you have your three items. Okay, and just to let you know, everyone came up with different ideas, but I'm totally fine if you use similar. Like if Emma and Patrick both use beach glass, that is fine. I just wanted everyone to come up with as many solutions as possible. Chicken nuggets, if you want to buy a whole bunch of chicken nuggets and do that, or cut some up and make it out of chicken nuggets, that would be quite funny. I'd like to see that. Crayons would be good as well. Bowls, plates, pots, pans. Yep. M&Ms. Emma is always a great one, and then the best thing about M&Ms is afterwards you can eat them. Unless you do it on the floor, then you might not want to eat them. Anyways, beads, great. Nails. Oh, nails. Nails as in wood. For some reason, it's a little sick, Mr. Salty. I was thinking of like toenails and fingernails. That would be very creepy. So I'm assuming you mean hammered nails, things like that. Hair rubber bands, good. Dog food, even better, right? The little nibbles. Leica markers, you've got a lot of markers, that'd be good. Hair pens, sure. Cereal, sure. I love cereal. I absolutely love cereal. In fact, on Monday night, I think I ate just about a whole box of Reese's Puffs. Kind of splurged a little bit on that night. Cotton balls, good. Q-tips, good. So all good stuff. Haley, you submitted your designs, but I don't see this. Dylan, you didn't submit your designs, but I do see this. Seems like you pretty much just took other people's, though. Caitlin, rock speeds, markers, caps, shells, buttons, a lot of similar ones here, too. And then Aaron is camping. Okay, so we have a lot of good ideas, and I'm sure you could all just dip back into this. And the great thing about this shared document is that if you have a brain fart, then you could just enter back in here and be like, oh, maybe I'll use cookies, maybe I'll use silverware, magnolia leaves. So feel free to take what anyone used. You don't have to use just what you use. So for example, say Grace is like, I got nail polish, but maybe I don't have enough. I probably don't have enough face masks. Maybe I want to use some shells, or maybe I want to use M&Ms or any other type of candy as well. Cereal is also a great one. Very good, Malika. I'm surprised you're the only one that said that too. So a lot of good ideas. Some of you did better than others. as I said, missing 2 people here. And feel free to take any of these as well, okay? So most of you, good job, and thank you for doing that. So you can use any of these. Anyone can use, everyone can use rocks if you wanted to, okay? For this assignment, I wanted people thinking of different things. So you are taking whatever you want to create the design out of, and you are creating that first design, okay? That first design, you choose one of the 3 I suggest you move forward with, okay? And then next week, you'll choose another one. You'll choose one of the 2 that are left. Some key points. Backgrounds. It's very important that you keep your backgrounds nice and simple, okay? Say if I'm using a tile floor, but that tile floor has a bunch of different patterns in it. Some, if it's like a marble, that's going to distract from your design. So unless it's just like a solid, white or solid color tile floor, don't use it. A blank piece of paper, a colored piece of paper would probably be a little more interesting. A solid collar rug is always good. What you could also do is kind of lay out a sheet in your room or in a room of your home or apartment and do it on top of the sheet. But better yet, try to get outside and do it. It's supposed to be beautiful. And that leads me to my next point. Make sure you're reading all of this too. Photography is a very big part of this project. So the end result is the final design, but you need to photograph it, okay? And the photograph needs to be successful, okay? And I need to see the whole design in the photograph. I don't want it on an angle. If you can, try to get above the design, looking down at it, okay? Or on a slight angle. Okay. If you're standing 5 feet away from your design and you snap the picture and I can't make out your design, you will get points taken off. Also, if there is a huge shadow on top of your design, you will get points taken off. Okay? If it's a giant glary picture, you'll get points taken off. If the whole thing is dark and you don't use correct lighting, you'll get points taken off. The reason I say to go outside and do this assignment is because natural lighting is the best for taking pictures. Okay, so use light from outside. Either create it by a window so you have that natural light coming in, or go outside and do it. Doing it on the lawn is a great area to do it. If you have a deck or if you have a porch, a walkway, even if you do it on your driveway, there's a ton of options, okay? And you could do every single design in the same spot when we move forward with the project, but the backgrounds need to be simple and the photographs need to be successful. You are taking 2 photographs, okay? One of the entire design and 1 close-up shot, okay? Try to pick an interesting part of the design and take a close-up shot of that interesting part, okay? So for that second photo, you do not need the whole design showing. It's just a snippet of your design. So if my whole design is of this screen, then that close-up shot is of this little area right here, or something like that, okay? But it is very important that photo is a successful photo, this first one, because if it is dark, if there's a huge glare on it, if there's a huge shadow over it, if you have your foot in the picture, you are going to get points taken off. I want to see background, design, that is it. Good lighting, nice and clear. Your phones take great pictures. So if they come out bad, it's on you, okay? You didn't take the time. If you step back, click, take the picture, don't even think about it, I guarantee you're probably going to get points taken off of because it's going to be an unsuccessful picture, okay? And if a piece of your design is not in the picture, if it's cropped out of the picture, you're obviously going to get points taken out as well. The entire design needs to fit nicely in your photo. So that may mean moving backwards or, finding something to stand on, preferably with someone there so you don't fall over so you can take that picture, okay? Or prop up some stand on a cooler if you have a cooler, or prop up some bricks, whatever, okay? Sidewalk. So that is the next assignment that will be due Thursday. You have all of Thursday to do it if you are one of those people that wait till the last minute to hand things in. but it is due Thursday, okay? Normally we have things due on Wednesday, but we are doing it on Thursday now, okay? So I'm going to pause. The next part of this video is I'm going to go over your sketches. I'm going to pick out 3 that I felt were the most successful, may or may not make some suggestions, and then move forward from there. Alright, first up is Patrick. So Patrick, I think moving forward that 1, 2, and 3 would be your best designs. Okay. For this little wave thing, very good. I think it might be cool to add like a little curve kind of right here, one more. So it looks like it's, 2 curves. That could be interesting. But other than that, I think it's good. The shells, I like the way that kind of flows and then points in a direction. I like that. I also like that you showed me what you're going to use for each one. So these 2 are very interesting. This one, a leaf basically made out of leaves. That's all right. I'm not sure what. I feel like a combination of these could be interesting somehow. But this one's definitely more successful than this one. However, there just doesn't seem like there's enough here. So maybe think about how you could make this one a little bit more interesting. Maybe maybe just do a design out of leaves instead of doing a leaf out of leaves, right? This is more design. This is like a leaf out of leaves, which is it's okay, but I want more of a design. So right here you got more designy type things, and this is kind of just you're creating a object. So maybe wouldn't be a bad idea to try to work a 3rd one in here that would fit better. In a design, this is okay, but it's not all that interesting either. So I'd go with these 3, but again, this 3rd one kind of has an asterisk next to it. So wouldn't hurt to come up with that next design, but you got 2 to move forward with for the next couple weeks. So I'd definitely choose this one or this one for the next assignment. Alright, first one we have Caitlin. So, case in point, Caitlin, I don't want to see a huge blue hue over your final photo. It's totally fine for this design, totally fine. But for your final, try to get natural lighting instead of taking it in your room or whatever. This looks like you just kind of flashed it on your camera. So this, I just brought up 3 pictures that I thought were the best. Whatever you make this out of, it's important that you keep the large rocks and the small rock theme going on, the big, medium, small, because that's what makes this interesting, okay? Other than that, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting. So whatever you make it out of, make sure you have big objects, medium objects, and small objects, okay? That's how this one's going to be more successful. This one's good. I would like to see a little bit more movement in it. So similar to what Patrick had, maybe if it was like this. That one goes out. Maybe this one goes up. And this one goes this way. I think that could be a little bit more successful, and you could keep them all the same size. You don't necessarily have to do the big, medium, small, as I said in the last one. But with an extra little kind of curve, I think that could be nice, because it kind of looks like straight, and then, which is a little bit strange. Or you could do like this. And then, oh, don't do that. That kind of looks like a swastika. Ooh, jeez. Yeah, so don't do that. Yeah, but, maybe even putting a little bit more curve on it. Kind of. That could be cool. So, that's my suggestion for that one. And this one's interesting. It reminds me of like a spider. So have that kind of one circle in the middle, circle around it, circle around that one, and then around that circle is when you extend these kind of legs to the spider almost, or kind of like a cave painting sun. Seems like something that you could have also done on those Aboriginal paintings that we did in the beginning of the year. So that would be my suggestion for that one, Caitlin. Good job. Thank you very much. What else is Ashley? Ashley, I love the combination of geometric and organic shapes right here. I really don't have anything to say here. Just make sure whatever you're making it out of, is small enough so you can get these triangles, right? You don't have to put things on the inside of them. You can just do the outlines, kind of just how you drew it. But you will need smaller objects unless you're going to do it really, really big, which could also be cool. But you want to make sure you don't have, like, for example, if you did it on a small size and it was quarters, you'd be able to put like 1 quarter here and 1 quarter here, and then it doesn't even look like it's a triangle. So whatever you use, make sure you're either A, doing it big enough, or B, you have really tiny objects to create it. I suggest using the bigger objects and doing it bigger, just because it's going to be easier. With those smaller objects, it tends to get very, very tedious, and it will take you a longer time. So it actually is easier doing things bigger for this project rather than trying to just take the easy way out and do it smaller. You'll find that you'll have a more difficult time with smaller objects. So I'll exit this one out, Ashley. I'll find the other two. This one's good too. Same comment. Make sure that you you use the smalling objects. I think it would be better if you had, have one circle here, one half circle here, one half circle here, and then put another half circle here. Okay? It looks kind of awkward with that triangle right here. I think if circle, 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 circle in the middle, and then the triangles kind of in the corners of those circles. So that's my suggestion for this one. Put that circle right here. Put good on that as well. I gotta go to your third one. And then this one's good. So it will be very cool if you can, so obviously you'll need something to create these lines, right? And then put things inside of it to create these lines as well. I don't know how you're going to do that. Toothpicks may be a good idea with this one. If you got some toothpicks laying around. So you want to create that outline and then put these things on the inside. And you gotta, for this one, you just really, really, really have to be aware of the size and what objects you're using, right? Because you have this smaller square on the inside, and if your objects are too big, then you're not going to be able to create this square. And especially these really, really tiny lines. So that it concerns me a little bit because I'm not sure how you're going to create these tiny lines. So that may be difficult. For the outside, I think it will be cool if you don't create objects creating this line, like the outline lines. I think it'll be more interesting if you just laid something out that made up that shape. So you have something kind of like this with whatever objects you're going to use, creating that implied line. So not actually laying something out here, creating that through laying out the pieces and arcing them so. Okay? But be very aware of the size and whatever objects you're using for this one, like I said. I don't think it'll be the end of the world if you have to eliminate these lines, because I'm really not sure how you'll do it. If you're able to do it, it will come out cool, but I'm worried that whatever objects you're using won't work for it. So And if you have a question about what object you should use or could use, let me know. And in regards to photography, say if this was your final design, you'd get points taken off because, you know, this right here. So just make sure you're taking high quality photos for the final submission next week. What we got? Grace. Grace, you did everything on one piece of paper. Coolio. I really like this one, having those shapes around, and I think having that like kind of soft, curvy, almost square shape, but it has the curved angle. So you know your typical square has right angles, and then this square is more like a square that you'd see for an app on your phone, right? Kind of soft. I think that would be interesting, and you're making up this shape with the negative space, Grace. That is awesome. I love it. Not sure what I'm seeing here. A face, a fingerprint. I don't know. It kind of just looks like an oval with shapes in it. I think it would be cool if you like, say if wherever I'm putting these yellow lines right here, Grace, if you left those areas white. And so you just had color in here, white space. Objects in here, white space. Objects in here, white space. Objects in here. And then that's more of a pattern, okay? This could work. I'd like to see something like this instead of like that candy cane. Maybe like this type of double-ended question mark thing. Oop. And then maybe if you create some circles, not by just placing an object there, but placing multiple objects, kind of like this, to create that circle. Okay, so let me do that. So you can have a better understanding of it. Have those circles on the outside. I think that would be more interesting. Okay, so I like this idea. I like this idea, and I like this idea with my suggestions, Grace, okay? So just negative space, wherever I have the yellow line, Grace, that's areas I don't want anything, okay? So you can even make it a little thicker. So wherever I have that yellow line, and it doesn't have to be exactly where I have it, but I suggest having like 1, 2, 3, and maybe even a fourth area where you just break it up. You don't put anything there, and then you go forward from there, okay? That is my suggestion, Grace, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. All right, Emma P. So this is the first one that I like. You know, I suggest that you put the shapes on the outside, so wherever you have a line is where you're going to be lining up your objects. Okay, you put the objects on the outside. So these yellow lines should each have, you know, its own object. So dot, object, object, object. And then it makes up that line. Okay. So on and so forth. Okay. But I like that kind of almost like a clamshell type of look. Like it. Before I get to you, Malika, I'm going to go to Emma. Emma, I like this one. And it seems like you want to put objects on the inside, but don't forget. So you can put objects on the inside to make up these shapes. That's totally fine. Okay, so say if, let me make my thing bigger. For example, say if you're using rocks, you put a rock there. Okay, but the thing is here, as you see, it doesn't come to a point. So you want that to come to a point. The way, so for example, if you're using coins, the coins that are on the middle should be quarters. Okay. Then it should go to nickels. And then it should go to dimes, which are the smallest. and then you'll see bigger, smaller, okay, to get that pointed shape. The other way you can simply do it, Emma, is the same way I suggested last time, is just outline the shape instead of putting things on the inside. Okay, outline the shape instead of putting things on the inside. So you can attack it the one of two ways, okay? The changing the shape size and putting it on the inside, or just outlining the shape. All right, Emma? And the bigger, the bigger the better. Yikes. One more for Emma. And same thing here, Emma. I like the design. I think it's very cool that you have almost this octagon-y type shape in there. But be aware of those points, because we want to keep those points, Emma. That's the most interesting part. If it's just the same size going out, it's not going to look like it's a point, and we want that point, okay? So it's either you're going to create the shape by outlining the shape, putting things on the lines where you created them, or you're going to create the shape by changing the size of the object you are using. Okay, I used, like I said before, coins, quarters up here, nickels, dimes, okay, to create that size difference. And then that will be much more interesting. Let me know if you have questions. All right, Malika keeps popping up, so we'll let it go with it. I'm going to go with the peace sign. I love the peace signs. So that could work. And I just really like it. I like it a lot. This is cool. I think it could be a little more interesting if this was, so you have this shape, and then say if it went like this. Something like that, like a little more tail to it. I would like to see that, a little more tail. So you have that circle, 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 and then something like that. I think would be better. And one of these two. One of these two could work. I'll let you choose for that one. Okay? So for this one, Malika, I think it'll be better with that little longer tail. And then I will let you choose whichever one of these two you want to move forward with, because I think they're both good. Totally fine with the shapes. This is a little bit more organic, natural shape, but this could work fine. I like the positive and negative space. Kind of like the yin and the yang. Do I love it? Do I hate it? Type thing. Cool. Good job, Malika. All right, Haley, I like this fish. Kind of very geometric, almost like a cave painting type of fish. So just be aware of whatever shapes you're going to use. Oh, with toothpicks. Okay, so you lay a toothpick here, you lay a toothpick here, toothpick here. It looks like you break one in half. You lay one here. Toothpick, toothpick. Break a toothpick really tiny to make this triangle. So that will work. Don't really have any suggestions to it. I think that will work fine. One cool thing that you could think about doing is you could lay the toothpicks out, and then on top of these toothpicks, you can put a toothpick here, a toothpick here, and a toothpick here, and maybe like one more in here to kind of reference a fin. That could be cool. So that's my suggestion for that one, Haley. You're number one. So these two are both pretty boring in my opinion. Flower made of bottle caps. So what I would like to see here, I want to go with the flower. You could think about creating a kind of stem-like, I guess, but I think that's a little bit cheesy. What I'd like to see is maybe you have that, I'm going to make my thing nice and big. Maybe you have that flower out of bottle caps. And then you have, flower out of bottle caps. It's too simple. Maybe if we went with the diamond out of bottle caps. How about that? The diamond out of bottle caps, or the diamond out of something else. Because this is just, putting 6-7 bottle caps down. That's not really enough. So say if we had you know, kind of the diamond shape. I'm going to make my circles smaller so I have more room. The diamond shape of your bottle caps. You shouldn't have as many spaces in between as I'm making right now. And like the smaller diamond shape. The larger diamond shape around it. But as you can see, I'm not keeping that diamond shape, and you can see what happens when you don't keep that diamond shape. So you got to make sure those lines are very, very straight, and it's nice. You know, if you have 6 right here, you should have 6 right here and 6 right here. Then on the inside, if you have 4 right here, you should have 4 right here and 4 right here. Then if you have 1, 2, 1, 2, it should be 1, 2, 1, 2 to keep it as symmetrical as possible. Okay, and then it might also be cool to, like, I don't know, maybe add a line at the bottom or something, and then maybe a line at the top, just to give it a little something else rather than just doing diamonds upon diamonds upon diamonds. So that's my suggestion there. Originally I said the flower, but let's not go with that. Let's go with the diamond instead. And then butterfly, I like it. Paper clips. Paper clips will work good. Yep. Try to make it a little bit bigger. Try to make it a little bit bigger than 1, 2, 3, 4 paper clips long. Let's do like 10 paper clips long. Let's make it nice and big. Let's maybe even think about, you know, making some type of design on the inside. So you have your kind of shape. Maybe you just put a couple paper clips on the inside too to create an inner pattern, because the butterflies do have a nice, beautiful patterns. That's what makes looking at butterflies so interesting, are the patterns on the inside, not just the shape of them. So work it around, make it a little bit bigger, and try to make it big enough so you can do a little something on the inside too. And also, hint hint, you could take these paper clips, straighten them out, and bend them any which way you want to create those inner designs, right? You could even twist them so you have paper clips going like this, right? So play around with them. You don't just have to lay the paper clips out, Haley. All right, Marissa. So this one could work out of spoons. Out of spoons, okay. If you got spoons, that would work. Maybe adding a little something on the inside too could work well. Make sure these look nice and flowy. The more flowy, the better. Okay? And also be aware of how you're going to display it. It looks like you're going to display it up and down like this, and that would be my suggestion. I wouldn't display it, you know, how I'm looking at it right now. I wouldn't display it. But it looks like you were displaying it the proper way, so I'll shut up. Marissa 2, and then either of these two. Okay? Cups. You got a lot of cups that could work. Looks like you got these kind of star shapes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got this one attaching it. So, you know, I don't think it would hurt to make it a little more symmetrical. I know this is just a sketch. So, for example, if this star was down here, then you want to move this one over here so it's symmetrical. And then, obviously, this one would have to be brought in. So, probably you would want one here, one here, one about here, and one about here. So, it's nice and even. And then I think having that line in there is interesting, and then boop, 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 boop. I think just putting the cups around it like that makes it more interesting as well. Pens, very interesting. I think this one's pretty good as is. Yeah, I like this one. Maybe add a couple more in here or something like that, but that one could work too. I like this one. I don't really have too many comments for this one, Marissa, so good job on that one. Let me know if you have questions. Last but not least, Emma. Emma, this one looks great. Great, 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 great. I forgot who I said it to, but I said it before. It's important that you do have bigger rocks and smaller rocks for this piece, okay? If you don't have the bigger rocks and smaller rocks, if they're all one size, it's not going to look as interesting, okay? If you do have rocks that are the same size, I suggest stacking them up on top of one another right here so it looks like it's raised, and then doing just one as you go down, okay? But try to get rocks that are different sizes so you could create this very, very interesting effect that you have going on. This one's good as is. Don't have much to say about this one. Same thing. The sizes are going to be a big, big factor on this one. But this looks beautiful, Emma. Good job. Keep the size of the rocks in mind. That's going to be very important. You kind of got medium over here, big to small. And this blobby shape is what it would look like if all the rocks are the same. So obviously you don't want that, so keep the size of the rocks in mind, or whatever it is you're using. Same thing here. Great design. The sizes of the rocks are what is either going to make it or break it. Okay? And make sure the images are nice and clear. You got a little shadow right here. Obviously I'm not taking points off for this one, but you know, if you do it outside, it's probably going to be the best because you'll get a nice clean shot. All right. Let me know if you have questions, Emma. That is it for the critique. Let me know if anyone has questions on what is due next week. Everything's listed here. Read through it. Watch the video. And let me know if you are still confused and or have questions or just want clarification about things, okay? Looks like it's going to be a nice Saturday now, so I hope everyone enjoys the weekend. And we're almost there. The end is right around the corner, so let's continue to push through to the end. See you later.